turn the freaking music off. Just like that. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. Woo! So, A2. And we've had 3 different winners in 3 different races. And that's pretty much, and all the 250s too, and the 450s. Pretty freaking spectacular. And this has been a huge turnaround from last weekend when you have Degan talking about, oh, I'm just so depressed. Like, it's total 180, right? What's the word when split personality almost, where you're down in your dumps. And then now you're playing these mind games. And how did Degan play these effing mind games? Well, he played these mind games by simply hitting Juju in the heat race going, hey, you know what, dude? I want you to think of me. I want you to know that I'm there, because that's what Degan's going to do, is he's going to make it apparent that, hey, if I'm behind you and you see me coming past a 180 and you're looking down the other lane, I want you to know I am there. I'm hunting you down. Be wary. That's exactly what Degan did. And that's what he's great at, is he doesn't necessarily have to be the fastest rider to win. He just has to get inside these guys' head. The last time I really saw this type of trickery going around or racecraft was really Jason Lawrence and Ryan Degan. Not Ryan Degan. Ryan Dungey. And that was the last time in the 250 class. Get these little young guns, right? And we saw him also do it in the main event where Juju tries to take him out, and give it up to Juju where he's not going to take no prisoners. And I love seeing that One Industries gear. That's probably the sickest gear around right now. I'm so happy that they are back in the moto industry. And Sean, good to see you as well. Thank you for joining the live show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely helps out the algorithm a bunch. And we have another, and want to like him. His attitude, it really irritates me. No, but he gives you something to talk about. That is the key point. Degan gives you something to talk about. It's pizzazz, right? There's a whole nother set of behind the stage where you see with the cameras, you see him, right? And you know what's going on. And it was cool to see last weekend where I was thinking, I said on my podcast on Monday with Coach Rob, we're talking about like, this is the adversity that I want to see from the little shit, is I want to see him persevere from this. I want to see him get down and have these young guns come up, you know, like Cole Davies know, hey, I can beat you. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Degan at the practice track not riding with his 250 teammates anymore, where now he's just riding with just Tomac, which what a mentor to have is Eli Tomac to show you, because truthfully in the main event, I was wrong. I said nobody was going to come from the outside of those gates, and Tomac got the whole shot on the first gate to the box, and he went back. And I'm assuming he told Degan, hey, dude, you got to start here. And what did he do? Get the whole shot. Juju tried to come in and hit him again. Degan showed him who's boss. And then he does more disrespect on the podium by just saying, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. I'm the one cashing the check. You might have the red plate right now, but I am coming for you. And that's the type of stuff that I want to see. And pretty much craziness, just craziness. Juju is on point and trying to highlight some of these comments here live. And again, if you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But Juju's not scared. And Cole Davies, 17, getting on the podium. When was the last time we saw that? Crazy. Along with the 450s, with having Kenny holding the red number plate on a Suzuki. I think it's got a lot to do with that factory transmission, you know, in his new suspension. I've never seen Kenny so hungry. What is up with these 30-year-olds that all of a sudden are like, hey, I'm going to just have a family and I'm going to focus on racing, but I'm going to kind of make it fun and we're going to go do more stuff. Like, what an innovator from Kenny to try to change this up to say, let's go race World Supercross. Let's go do MX of Nations, which he didn't, but you know, Tomac did. My point is, let's go to the Oz X and boom, boom, boom. But back to a little bit of the 250 class before I go on, right? Cole Davies, that is the guy that I see actually beating Degan. When I was there at A1, and I'm going to be there at Glendale. So if you're there at Glendale too, make sure you come say hi and tag me in a few posts and everything. But dude, he looks to me like somebody I'd be worried about if I was Degan. I'd be worried. Juju, yes, but KTM, we know that they're having some financial struggles, and I truthfully, I kind of feel like it's showing with Sexton, because we're only 3 races in. There's still 14 more to go. You're going to see a lot more going on here, and you guys are talking about having age limits in the 250s. Right. I don't believe there's an age limit as of right now, but maybe there should be, right? Maybe there should be, along with the privateer class. But what is about the curse with Pro Circuit? What is with it? You've got Levi Kitchen getting sick. Okay, sure. That's just the A1 craziness, because there's always stupid shit that happens at A1. Ty Masterpool, fingers. Marchbanks, like concussion, shoulder. What's going on? We saw what happened last year with the Pro Circuit guys. I'm glad Drew Adams actually finished the freaking race, was getting points for Pro Circuit. But what a story for these guys to be pretty much the hero team for a decade. And now, pretty much since AC left, they've been struggling, which is freaking crazy. And thinking I should come to some of the indies. We will see. We will see. I want to try to go to as many of them as possible. But I talked about it, and I was honestly happy to see the rain come out, because truthfully, you saw my track analysis video, and I don't like the little hitch there. The 180s were cool. I love the 2 whoop sections. Let's keep those up. I liked how they packed them 2 differently, mixed it up a little bit for the riders. And we saw Justin Cooper basically in the 450 class throw it away because he's jumping through them. You can't jump through 2 whoop sections. You can get away with 1, but you can't get away with 2, right? And the track itself, we've had some amazing racing on, honestly, some tracks that weren't very conducive for racing. They were good practice tracks. Don't get me wrong. That I would say would be a top tier private practice track to get you ready for racing, but to actually be entertaining and racing, there wasn't a whole lot. It was a lot of the same. And I will highlight some things that stood out to me. And the reason as to why I believe Jett was faster than most guys was because he was doing a couple things differently. And the same thing with Kenny. So make sure you look for that video. That's probably going to drop on Tuesday after Monday's podcast with Coach here. But the real guy that I want to highlight in the 450 class is Jason Anderson, coming back from a sickness, being outside the top 10 to basically not being scared of anybody. And I love the respect that Jett gave Anderson. It was basically like it was a bomb that you're not going to touch, because if you get too freaking close to Anderson, he's going to blow you up, because you've heard me say Anderson's a pretty built dude. He's a big guy, right? And he's loose. He's loose, meaning that you piss him off, he's not going to care what the media says or anything. He doesn't care about a fine. He's going to come in and he's going to show you more disrespect if you disrespect him. So give him space. And we all know what happened last year. So that is something that Jett remembers. Jett knows that he has to race Anderson clean. And yes, the bend in the rhythm was I didn't like it, right? There was some things about the track. Like I said, the 2 whoop sections, which was great. The sand was great. One of the rhythm sections was great. The 180-degree corners was good. After the start, bad. The start, glad nobody got hurt. And that bend, massive quad, would have been awesome to see guys go quintuplet. Is that 5 in there? Super massive, but just didn't make it fair for racing. So it was Blue Groove. And the rain changed the element, which I love the rain because it made guys think a little bit, and it made it a little bit racier, in my opinion. I would have loved to see even more rain. More rain would have been great. Bring on the rain. I wanted a halfway mud race for a track like that, because it would have forced guys to go outside, inside. And Anderson, dude, truthfully, I don't want to spoil it for what I saw for this week's line analysis. So I will keep some stuff hidden there. But that dude is back. That dude is back. I haven't seen Jason Anderson ride this well since he won a championship. So this is effing awesome for him. And I'm a big Jason Anderson fan. I'm a big fan of Kenny, big fan of Tomac. And I'm like, what the hell happened to Tomac? After having such a good qualifying and heat race, what was he doing? thinking of starting where he did. He got that just blew up in his face. He should have went back to the paddle tire for that to happen, right? And Cooper jumping through the whoops. Sexton, I don't understand. He was literally in the heat race watching Jett do the quad in front of him, and he wasn't able to pull it out, which tells you how much Jett is on another level than these guys. Even Jason Anderson, they're literally seeing this. They go back to the truck and they see this guy doing that, and they don't bust it out, which is astronomical to me, which is, again, we have it 3 races, 3 different riders, both 250 and 450, which is awesome. I would love to see more. Like, I'm honestly a really big betting man. Ethereum and Bitcoin are actually going down right at the moment, but that's not my point. I'm digressing. Point is like, if you're betting on these guys, who do you know is going to win? I didn't think Kenny was going to get second. I could have bet Jett was going to win. I mean, that was somewhat of a given, but I would have not a bet for Tomac to get, what did Tomac get? He got 7th, I believe. That is bad from winning a week ago. Talk about going from hero to zero. And yeah, that's a hard word, but the terminology still sticks, because a rider like Tomac, if he's not on the podium, it's not a good weekend. Right. And yeah, it was just a bad start, but the track had a lot to do with it, because it was very hard to race. He tried to battle with Justin Cooper he tried to battle with his teammate Webb for forever. Yeah, Cooper, right? Justin Cooper, Webb, they're very close in names. But it was hard to get around, and Webb is trying to fight, and these guys are battling for damn near 10th, which is freaking crazy. Just almost silly to watch. And part of the thing's just moving right back into the 250s for just a second was Smith. Dude, what basically happened to Smith is, I will give this one away, is he was trying to have a big bonus from Triumph, because there's a big difference between the check between 3rd and 2nd place to try to get around Juju, and he was catching him. However, he had no place to go. Juju was covering the line. He was going from the outside to the inside in the sand, and Smith just was either like, I'm going to run into him, make us both crash, or I'm going to try to make the pass stick, and he ended up going off the track and endoing. Luckily, those tough blocks saved him. Dirtworks, they did a great job with leaving those tough blocks there, but give it up to him. I'd much rather, if I was the rep for Triumph, to come back and to be telling him like, hey, I know you got 4th, right? Big fucking deal. I would much rather have my motorcycle and my team and have a rider of your caliber out there looking to try to win or even get 2nd, rather than phoning it in for 3rd for a paycheck. That's the type of rider I want, and that's the type of rider you want to build a team around. And if I'm going to end with anything, it's Shimoda. Joe, almost probably the best attitude on the track. And yeah, I could see the weight difference with the having one handguard off. But truthfully, if I was his mental coach, like, the world knows your hand is messed up at the moment. The world knows that you are persevering under the circumstances that was unfortunately given to you, because he probably would have been a 2nd-time winner by now. Yes, I think Joe probably would have won 2 of the last 3 rounds if he didn't break his fingers. Okay, so that was just a card that he was dealt, and he's having to deal with it. However, if I was his mental coach, I'd be saying, wear 2 handguards, right? The symbolism of just having one handguard, in my opinion, is letting everybody know you're hurt, and it's telling you, that, hey, you're injured. You can't push forward. You're injured. You just got to get through this. And getting through this is enough. Well, you know what? I'm here to say, no, it's not enough. I know the level of rider Joe is and what he can do. Put 2 freaking handguards on and just start focusing hardcore about beating all these SOBs. That's what you putting these guys in here as a gladiator. That's what you need to do. For some reason, it just bugs me enough. It bugs me where, I don't know, but I could see that, hey, it could be for weight. Yes. And yes, it is designed to protect his fingers. Yes, there's multiple ways you can skin a cow. Is that the saying? I don't know. And yeah, everyone, he is doing great for the circumstances. And why is it hard for me to say that I expect more out of him? I expect more out of him because I know he can give it. I know he can give it. First Japanese rider ever. He can persevere like no one else. And I just want to see more of it, right? Having high expectations is not a bad thing. So anyway, hope everybody enjoys their weekend and their Saturday evening. Thanks for everybody showing up at 10, 11 o'clock at night with me. And honestly, I'm going to go party hardy with a bunch of people I have upstairs that are for the Supercross party. And yeah, it's going to be a good evening. So stay tuned for the podcast that comes out on Monday. And Tuesday, I'm going to drop the line video. So appreciate all you guys. And until next time, keep it WFO.